Kohler and Detroit Diesel have a partnership agreement for producing 60 kilowatt generators. Kohler manufactures the generator sets and Detroit Diesel provides the engines. Both companies offer the same models, with slight variations in branding. When installing wires for a generator that is 1100 feet from the home, consider these suggestions. Firstly, use 2 hand holes to divide the pole into approximately 400-foot segments. Secondly, consider using a mandrel or roller to guide the cables and reduce friction during the pull. Thirdly, lubricate the conduit with a pulling lubricant to ease the installation process. For pulling equipment, the Greenlee Ultra Tugger is a good choice for pulling large cables over long distances. It offers 8,000 pounds of pulling power and can handle 3-inch conduit. When sourcing the generator, you can reach out to local Kohler distributors to get quotes and technical support. You can also contact Detroit Diesel distributors for the 60 GSG series generators. Check with other established suppliers for competitive offers and availability. Verify that the wire size is sufficient to compensate for voltage drop, using industry standard formulas. Consult relevant tables in the National Electrical Code, such as those found in Chapter 9, or use voltage drop calculators available from various manufacturers and online sources. Ensure the conduit used is suitable for direct burial, if applicable, and has the appropriate ratings for the environmental conditions. Pay attention to proper termination and connections to avoid electrical hazards and ensure reliable performance. All applicable electrical codes and industry best practices should be followed during installation. Some further considerations include verifying the ampacity of the conductors. Use the appropriate table in the National Electrical Code, such as Table 310.15b16, to determine the allowable ampacity based on the conductor size and insulation type. Account for ambient temperature correction factors and adjustment factors for multiple conductors in a raceway, as specified in NEC sections 310.15b2 and 310.15b3. Consider using cable pulling software to calculate pulling tension and sidewall pressure. These tools can help optimize the pull and prevent damage to the cables. These programs take into account factors like conduit size, bend radius, cable weight, and coefficient of friction. When using hand holes, ensure they are adequately sized to accommodate the cables and provide sufficient working space. The hand hole should also be properly grounded and bonded. When selecting a pulling lubricant, choose one that is compatible with the cable insulation and conduit material. Avoid using petroleum-based lubricants, as they can damage some types of cable insulation. When making connections, use appropriately sized connectors that are listed and labeled for the application. Follow the manufacturer's instructions for proper installation and torquing. After the installation is complete, perform a thorough inspection and testing to ensure that the system is functioning properly. This should include testing the voltage of the generator and at the load to verify that the voltage drop is within acceptable limits. Also, perform insulation resistance testing on the conductors to check for any damage to the insulation. Ensure that the generator is properly grounded and bonded, in accordance with NEC requirements. This is essential for safety and to prevent electrical shock hazards. When selecting a generator, consider the fuel type. Generators can be powered by gasoline, diesel, natural gas, or propane. Each fuel type has its own advantages and disadvantages in terms of cost, availability, and emissions. Consider the noise level of the generator. Some generators are much quieter than others. This may be an important consideration depending on the location of the generator and the proximity to neighbors. Make sure that the generator is equipped with appropriate safety features, such as overcurrent protection and automatic shutdown in case of low oil pressure or high temperature. Obtain all necessary permits and approvals before starting the installation. Contact the local building department and utility company for requirements. After installation, provide the homeowner with proper training on how to operate and maintain the generator. This should include instructions on starting and stopping the generator, checking the oil and coolant levels, and performing routine maintenance. Keep a detailed record of the installation, including wire sizes, conduit types, connection details, and test results. This information will be helpful for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Consider using a neutral conductor that is sized appropriately for the unbalanced load. In some cases, the neutral conductor may need to be larger than the phase conductors. Ensure that the generator is equipped with a transfer switch to prevent backfeeding onto the utility grid. Backfeeding can be dangerous for utility workers and can also damage the generator. When installing the conduit, make sure that it is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Use appropriate clamps and straps to secure the conduit to the building structure. Consider using expansion fittings and long conduit runs to accommodate thermal expansion and contraction. These fittings will prevent the conduit from buckling or cracking due to temperature changes. When pulling the cables, use a consistent pulling speed and avoid jerking or sudden movements. This will help to prevent damage to the cables. Monitor the pulling tension during the pull and stop if the tension exceeds the maximum allowable limit. Excessive pulling tension can damage the cables. After the cables are pulled, inspect them carefully for any signs of damage. If any damage is found, the cables must be replaced. Use a torque wrench to tighten all connections to the proper torque specifications. Over-tightening or under-tightening connections can lead to problems. Consider using a surge suppressor to protect the generator and connected equipment from voltage surges. Surge suppressors can help to prevent damage from lightning strikes and other electrical disturbances. Ensure that the generator is properly ventilated to prevent overheating. The generator should be located in a well-ventilated area and should not be enclosed in a small space. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for ventilation requirements. Consider using a remote monitoring system to keep track of the generator's performance. Remote monitoring systems can provide alerts if there are any problems with the generator. Have the generator inspected and maintained regularly by a qualified technician. Regular maintenance will help to ensure that the generator is operating safely and reliably. Before working on any electrical equipment, always disconnect the power and follow proper lockout-tagout procedures. This will help to prevent electrical shock and other injuries. When working with large cables, use proper lifting techniques to avoid back injuries. Always lift with your legs and keep your back straight. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves, safety glasses, and a hard hat. This will help to protect you from injuries. Be aware of the potential hazards of working with electricity and take steps to mitigate those hazards. Electricity can be dangerous, so it is important to be careful and follow all safety precautions. Consider the environmental impact of the generator. Generators can produce air pollution and noise pollution. Choose a generator that is as environmentally friendly as possible. When disposing of used oil and other waste materials, follow all applicable regulations. Do not pour used oil down the drain or into the ground. Consider the security of the generator. Generators can be targets for theft. Install a fence or other barrier to protect the generator from theft. Ensure that the generator is properly labeled with warning signs and safety information. This will help to prevent accidents and injuries. Have a contingency plan in place in case of a power outage. This plan should include instructions on how to start and stop the generator, how to connect and disconnect loads, and what to do in case of an emergency. Familiarize yourself with the local electrical codes and regulations. These codes and regulations are designed to protect the public safety. Stay up to date on the latest technology and best practices for generator installation and maintenance. This will help you to provide the best possible service to your customers. Consider the long-term costs of owning and operating a generator. These costs include fuel, maintenance, and repairs. Factor these costs into your decision when selecting a generator. Consider the resale value of the generator. Some generators hold their value better than others. This may be an important consideration if you plan to sell the generator in the future. Consider the warranty that is offered with the generator. A good warranty will protect you from unexpected repair costs. Consider the reputation of the generator manufacturer. Choose a manufacturer that is known for producing high-quality and reliable generators. Consider the availability of parts and service for the generator. Choose a generator that is easy to service and for which parts are readily available. Consider the size and weight of the generator. Make sure that the generator is small enough and light enough to be easily transported and installed. Consider the features and options that are available on the generator. Some generators have more features than others. Choose a generator that has the features that you need. Consider the price of the generator. Compare prices from different suppliers before making a decision. Ensure that the generator is compatible with your electrical system. The generator must be able to provide the voltage and amperage that is required by your loads. Consider the type of loads that you will be powering with the generator. Some generators are better suited for powering certain types of loads than others. Consider the frequency of power outages in your area. If you experience frequent power outages, you may need a more powerful generator. Consider the importance of having backup power. If you rely on electricity for critical functions such as medical equipment or security systems, you will need a reliable generator. Consider the benefits of having backup power. Backup power can provide peace of mind and can help you to avoid disruptions to your life or business. Ensure that the generator is installed in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. This is essential for safety and to protect your investment. Consider hiring a qualified electrician to install the generator. A qualified electrician will have the knowledge and experience to install the generator safely and correctly. Consider the cost of hiring a qualified electrician. The costs will vary depending on the complexity of the installation and the electrician's rates. Get several quotes from different electricians before making a decision. Check the electrician's credentials and make sure that they are licensed and insured. Ask the electrician for references and check them carefully. Make sure that the electrician has experience in installing generators of the type that you are considering. Get a written contract from the electrician that specifies the scope of work, the price, and the payment schedule. Review the contract carefully before signing it. Consider getting a permit from the local building department before starting the installation. This will ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and regulations. Schedule the installation at a time that is convenient for you. Make sure that you are available to answer any questions that the electrician may have. Inspect the installation carefully after it is complete. Make sure that everything is working properly and that there are no safety hazards. Pay the electrician promptly after the installation is complete. Keep a copy of the contract and the permit for your records. Maintain the generator according to the manufacturer's instructions. This will help to ensure that it operates safely and reliably for many years to come.